Have you ever pondered what secrets World War II still holds that most of us aren't aware of? As we delve into the annals of history, we often find that the most transformative events are also the most enigmatic. World War II, a cataclysmic period that shaped the 20th century and beyond, is no exception. It was a time of monumental change, a crucible of innovation and human resilience. It was a war that stretched the very fabric of humanity to its limits and redefined the contours of the world as we know it. Yet within this seismic event, there are still hidden corners, untold stories, and overlooked facts that elude us. These aren't just trivia tidbits. They're insights into the human experience, the geopolitical shifts, and the technological leaps that happened amidst the chaos. They're pieces of a puzzle that can give us a more complete picture of this pivotal era. Prepare to embark on an intriguing journey into the lesser-known corners of World War II history. Our first set of facts takes us to the various fronts of the war. Let's start with the Eastern Front, where a vast number of battles took place. Unbeknownst to many, the largest tank battle in history occurred here during the Battle of Kursk. Over 6,000 tanks clashed, a number so large it's hard to visualize. Moving to the Pacific Theater, the war was not only fought on land and sea, but also under the sea. The silent, stealthy warfare of submarines was a crucial part of the Pacific battles. In fact, American submarines, though they were only about 2% of the US Navy, sank over 30% of Japan's Navy, including 8 aircraft carriers. Over to Africa, specifically to the Sahara Desert, where it rarely rains, but when it did in 1942, it changed the course of history. A sudden and heavy rainstorm bogged down the German panzer tanks during the Battle of El Alamein, giving the British an unexpected advantage. Let's touch on the Arctic next. The little-known Arctic convoys were a lifeline for the USSR, delivering essential supplies from the Western Allies. The harsh conditions made the journey perilous, with ice-cold waters, frequent storms, and the constant threat of German U-boats and aircraft. Now, let's talk about the air. The B-24 Liberator, an American heavy bomber, was the most produced aircraft of the war. Over 18,000 units were produced, reflecting the scale of aerial warfare. And finally, the home front. Here, an interesting fact lies in the British Dig for Victory campaign, where citizens were encouraged to grow their own food to cope with rationing. It was so successful that by 1943, over 1 million tons of vegetables had been grown. These facts shed light on the complex and diverse nature of warfare during this period. Now, let's delve deeper into the human side of the war. Our journey into the annals of World War II continues with a look at the lives of those who were there, the soldiers who fought and the civilians who were caught in the crossfire. Fact number 10 is about a group of soldiers known as the Ghost Army. This was a United States Army tactical deception unit during World War II. Their job was not to fight, but to deceive. Using inflatable tanks, sound effects, and illusionary tactics, they staged over 20 battlefield deceptions, often operating very close to the front lines. Now on to fact 11. Did you know that there were over 30,000 Japanese-American soldiers who served in the US military during World War II? Despite facing discrimination and the internment of their families, these brave individuals fought for their country with distinction. Moving to fact 12, we find the story of the British Pigeon Army. During the war, the British military used over 200,000 pigeons to carry messages across enemy lines. These feathered heroes often flew through dangerous conditions to deliver critical information. Fact 13 takes us to the home front. In Britain, the Ministry of Food encouraged people to eat more carrots. The idea was that carrots could help you see in the blackout. Though this was a myth, it did help to reduce the consumption of rationed foods. Fact 14 highlights the bravery of the youngest soldiers. Some of the soldiers who fought in World War II were as young as 12. These children lied about their age to join the fight, showing an incredible sense of duty and courage. Fact 15 is about the incredible resilience of the human spirit. Even in the darkest times, people found ways to keep their spirits up. Music played a significant role in this, with songs like We'll Meet Again and White Cliffs of Dover becoming anthems of hope. Fact 16 speaks to the immense loss. An estimated 70 million people died as a result of World War II, making it the deadliest conflict in human history. Fact 17 reminds us of the power of unity. During the war, countries put aside their differences to fight against a common enemy. These facts remind us of the human face of war, often obscured by the grand narratives of strategy and politics. The war's end did not mean the end of its impact. As the dust of the World War II settled, its aftermath was felt across the globe, leaving an indelible mark on history. The first unknown fact of this chapter is about the war's economic impact. The war cost an unimaginable amount of money, with estimates running into trillions of dollars in today's value. This financial strain was not just confined to the war years, but extended into the decades that followed, shaping the global economy in ways we still feel today. Next, let's talk about the geopolitical shifts that came in the wake of the war. The world map was redrawn, leading to the birth of many new nations and the end of colonial empires. This was a period of unprecedented geopolitical upheaval, with the power dynamics of the entire world shifting, bringing us to the Cold War era. Our third fact is a human story. The war caused mass displacement of people across Europe. Millions found themselves in foreign lands, homeless, jobless, and without a country to call their own. This led to one of the largest humanitarian crises in history, and the efforts to rehabilitate these displaced individuals shaped international policies and humanitarian efforts for years to come. The fourth fact delves into the realm of culture. World War II had a profound impact on art, literature, and cinema, influencing a generation of artists and writers. The war's experiences were channeled into creative output, giving us some of the most powerful and poignant works of the 20th century. Finally, we look at the psychological aftermath. The trauma of the war left deep scars on the psyche of those who lived through it. This led to a greater understanding and acceptance of psychological disorders, paving the way for advancements in mental health treatments. These facts underscore the lingering shadows of the war, affecting generations long after the final shot was fired. Despite the devastation, World War II sparked some unexpected innovations. It's a curious truth, isn't it? Out of the ashes of conflict, some of the greatest leaps in technology and science have sprung. Our 24th fact brings us to the realm of medicine. Penicillin, the world's first true antibiotic, was mass-produced during World War II. Yes, the discovery was made a decade earlier by Alexander Fleming, but it was the war that necessitated its large-scale production. The drug was a game-changer, reducing the number of deaths from infected wounds dramatically. Next, we turn our attention to the skies. Fact 25. The jet engine. While the concept of jet propulsion had been toyed with since the early 20th century, it was the exigencies of war that accelerated its development. By the war's end, both the Allies and the Axis powers had produced operational jet-powered aircraft, pioneering a new era of aviation. For fact 26, we delve into the world of electronics. The technological demands of the war led to significant advancements in this field, the most notable being the development of radar. This system allowed nations to detect incoming aircraft, a crucial advantage in the aerial warfare that defined much of the conflict. And finally, our 27th fact, nuclear energy. The Manhattan Project, a secret research initiative by the United States, led to the creation of the world's first nuclear weapons. While the destructive power of these weapons is undisputed, the research also paved the way for the peaceful use of nuclear energy, a major source of power today. These facts highlight the paradox of war. Even in the midst of destruction, the seeds of progress can be sown. War, as horrendous as it is, has often been a catalyst for innovation, driving humanity to new frontiers in science and technology. And that, perhaps, is the most unexpected fact of all. As we've seen, World War II was far more than the sum of its well-known facts. It was a complex interplay of human decisions, technological advancements, and unforeseen consequences that continue to shape our world in ways we often overlook. We've journeyed through 27 lesser-known facts, each revealing a new facet of this global conflict. We've looked beyond the headlines to the human factor, witnessing the courage of those who risked their lives in the resistance, the resilience of those who survived the unimaginable, and the ingenuity of those who pioneered groundbreaking innovations under the shadow of war. We've delved into the aftermath, exploring the long-term effects that continue to ripple through generations. We've seen how the war laid the groundwork for the world as we know it today, from the geopolitical landscape to the technological marvels we take for granted. And we've uncovered the war's innovations, many of which were born out of necessity and have since revolutionized our everyday lives. We've discovered how this period of darkness sparked some of the brightest advancements in science, medicine, and technology. Throughout this journey, one thing is clear: understanding history in all its complexity is key to making sense of our present and shaping our future. By delving into the unknown and challenging what we think we know, we gain a deeper appreciation of the intricate tapestry that is our shared human experience. The past is filled with stories waiting to be discovered, stories that challenge us, inspire us, and remind us of our capacity for resilience and innovation. So let's keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the unknown facts of World War II, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you know of any other intriguing facts about this period, do leave a comment below. Until next time, keep exploring history.